What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys so much for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. Again, it's a privilege and honor to be able to make these lawn care videos for you all. Thank you, Lord, that we're able to be outside the lawn. It is a warm 53-ish degree day today when I'm filming this. So thank you, Lord, for the beautiful weather. We're still trailing in winter, guys. We're getting closer to that springtime. We're getting closer for our soil temperatures to be on the rise and be able to do the prediamine pre-emergent app that we spoke about in a video. Go check those past videos out if you haven't. But again, thank you so much for tuning into the channel. As I always like to mention in these videos, I'm a DIYer, do-it-yourself type of lawn care YouTube channel. I've never worked in lawn care, never worked in the industry, never worked for a lawn care company. I've taken advice from lawn care plans from Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, from Pete Denny over at GCI Turf. We've applied what we've learned through the lawn care plan through watching other YouTubers and channel content out there, and we've been pretty successful. We're here in Central North Carolina where we have mild winters and we have pretty hot summers from about May until August or September. It is hot here. And we have a cool season fescue lawn. So as you can imagine, it's difficult to maintain through those summer months. After two GCI Turf type tall fescue lawns and Cool Blue being the one we had last year, we have yet to make it through a full summer with our cool season lawn without some lots of die-off. We've added lots of potassium. We've went all that in the old content. So I just encourage you, if you're new to the channel, go check out some of the past content, because one of the unique things about a lawn care channel, as you guys are pretty sure aware of, is that we're always going to have lawns. You know, your home is always going to, if you want grass, you can go and find the content, and it's not changing dramatically from year to year. It's the same process. And so that's what I've shown to the viewers here on my channel, that if you come out here with basic knowledge of how to fertilize it, how to seed, how to aerate, then you can start being successful and then start fine-tuning what your lawn is asking you to do or what needs to be done to green it up. So anyway, sorry about the long intro, but that's what we're here for. If you're not subscribed and you're interested in lawn care content, spring is right around the corner. Subscribe. We'll be doing everything here. You'll see what I do here. We've talked about prediamine and pre-emergent is our next big application to do here. We do work with some of the biostimulants, not so much this year. We've talked about that in past videos, so check that out. But thank you so much for tuning in, those that have come back and those that are new. I appreciate it. Today, we had talked about, and I made mention in the last video, we talked about the warm-up we're going to have this week, and today we're feeling it. We're almost at 55 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 60s, the next day in the 60s, and then we're going to cool back down. So it's going to be short-lived, 3 or 4 day heating up streak. And I talked about in my post, because we didn't have content for Monday, that we may do a mow. And after walking the lawn and looking around, I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think it would just be, you know, for the content. We wouldn't be beneficial to the lawn to do that. So no mow, we're not going to do that. I started to talk about my backyard last video and for Monday's video, and I just said, you know what, it's not enough content to go over it. So anyways, we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about some of the repair areas back here. As you guys know, here in North Carolina, we don't get a lot of snow, but we did the past 2 weekends, or actually the past 3 weekends. We were supposed to get it this past weekend, turned out to be nothing. But the kids were out here, they were playing in the yard, and so we've had some changes to the repair area by the play shed. It's one thing I can at least talk about with you guys. So again, we've been slacking on content here in the winter months. To those that are like, oh, Mr. Ferguson, I love the content, I missed your videos. Thank you so much. That encourages me to keep getting out here and making them. But on the other hand, I don't want to come up with some garbage content to present you guys just as filler content. So I like for it to be something that's going to help somebody. So we're going to go back here. I want to show you where the kids play. They never play on the swing set back here, but during the snow, they were of course back here. My daughter, they get in these spurts and they want to decorate the tree house and all this. And you know, if you got kids, I am one of those people that are pretty strict on don't walk in the lawn, don't ride the bikes in the lawn. But during the snow, I let them, and I had a dad moment. So let me take you over here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So again, for those that are new to the channel, that have not been following along Mr. Ferguson's channel, We've put down some winterizer way back. Man, I think that we did that in November, and that urea nitrogen really, I mean, it got dark. It was beautiful. And then within the most recent application of FERT, I put down half a bag of Flagship from Yard Mastery, and it's a slow release nitrogen, and it really gave it a green pop. But I've noticed that it's definitely, the color has begun to subside, excuse me. The color has begun to go down a little bit. You can still see where I last cut. It's that diagonal cut. That's the last time I made it. By the way, our Japanese maple, you guys that have been around, that we planted here, yeah, I don't think it's made it. So we'll likely take that little stick out of the ground here soon. It didn't make it, we tried. But you can see this is one of the areas from my porch. You know, we have a path that we normally would walk right here to the water hose, but the kids, you can kind of see where they would run back and forth. By the way, before we even get to that, we just last night had like 8 deer. I mean, look at this, guys. This is incredible. They continuously come all the way up here, even in the front yard, and they're just eating the crap out of our bushes. I mean, that was fully stocked bush doing well, and the deer have just completely eaten it down to its nubs. And look at this one. I mean, it's just, look at that. You can't even tell in the dark that we have bushes between these trees anymore. We've tried cayenne pepper, we've tried fishing line, and I mean, just look at each and every single one of them. They just come, even in the front yard. This tree as well, as you can obviously see, didn't make it. It's turned brown. I don't know if that's insecticide or what. You got some patches of it on this tree over here. So as far as that, we did this last summer. If you're new to the channel, you can see how we did it. Go check that video out with Miss Ferguson on the cover. But clearly this one didn't make it, so it may need to come up as well. And we're gonna have to re-edge probably some of this. But anyways, getting back to what we wanted to talk about, the deer, man, they are just absolutely relentless. But over here, the color is subsiding, but it's still obviously, you know, compared with Mr. Brandon, I don't know when the last time he fertilized, but we're still a little bit greener than his, but our nitrogen is definitely dropping. But over here in our play area, I've done this section a lot. This area was spotty. You guys can tell, you know, again, those that have been coming back and watching week after week, video after video, we had a lot of trouble getting grass to cover, and it was like this all over here behind this tree and through the playset area, which I've never experienced before. It's always filled in. When I've aerated and planted, I've had no issues, but we've had some spottiness. And then when the snow came, the kids got on the swings up here and they began to play and all this. And then I come out here and of course it looks like they were dragging their feet. And so now you see that root there right in the shadow. Now we've got an area where it's just, you know, it's been all the baby grass and all the stuff that has not fully developed its roots and got ripped out during the snow. So it happens. The kids are going to play. I'm not going to come out here and yell, hey, you know, you can't tell when it's snowing anyways, but I told them to be gentle in this area because, you know, especially over here, I can recall this was bare area over here. We threw down GCI turf seed. We've thrown down the dense shade mix is why you may see a blend of different type of grasses here, but ultimately it's filled in greatly. And this was during the winter time when we thought that, you know, it would take till spring for it to really jump off. It has improved vastly. But here we did have a little damage done by the kids. So I just wanted to show this to you. What are we going to do for it? I'm not going to do anything. I may throw down a little bit of seed, primarily because I don't have any more GCI seed in stock in my shed. So we may throw down a little bit of repair seed for this in the beginning of spring when it starts to get, you know, obviously before the pre-emergent, we have to keep that in mind. I don't want to dig. If we put down pre-emergent everywhere to stop crabgrass, remember what we talked about last video, if we break that barrier and put seed down and allow it to grow, that's where weeds could come up as well. Crabgrass, we could introduce that. So I may not touch it at all and just see if it recovers on its own. That might be just what I do because again, they may come out here and swing and play and it gets tore up again. But that's pretty much everything that I had to show, was show you this repair area we've done pretty much since the beginning of the winter. Again, go back, check some of the old videos if you're interested, because this area has vastly improved. And I didn't put down a bunch of RGS. We didn't put down a bunch of fertilizer in this area. We did it. We fertilized it just like everything else. And that seed took in the colder temperatures, through the snow, through the colder, you know, it's been a mild winter. It's, you know, it's gotten in the 30s and the 20s at night, but still that grass has grown in and it looks great. And we still got areas areas over here where the kids play trash on the ground. I'm gonna have to get my daughters to come out here and clean up that are annoying. But again, you got the tree roots, and I heard all of you that said, you got roots there, Mr. Ferguson. The roots are gonna suck up all the nutrients and the grass won't grow. But I know that in the past 2 years, grass has grown here. And yes, it may thin out because of those roots, but I knew that grass could come here and grow and be fine. And that's what happened. You've got roots even right here that are in the ground that are visible, and right here, you know, all through this area, you've got roots here. But notice the grass is fine. It's not thick and lush, but it's patchy, but it's still here. And I think when summer comes, it'll really take off and should be okay. So I understand how roots can suck the nutrients for sure, and it may end up dying out quicker, but we'll see how it does with this dense shade mix. Again, we're waiting to see the leaves come back in the tree here, and for this to shade up and see if that dense shade mix works a little better and does what we intended for it to do while we planted it last fall. So anyways, just wanted to make you guys aware of that, show you that, talk about this type of topic, and let me know in the comments, you know, would you guys have snow up north and over there in the west? How are you treating it? Do you ever put down seed after a snow when you get areas like this, or does any of you guys ever treat it at all? Let me know in the comments below. And that's pretty much it out here in the backyard. Again, we may cover and do a lawn review of the front yard later on. Again, it's winter, we're slacking on the content. I'm not putting down anything. I did get in some more of the soil test. I think you guys that had mentioned that Yard Mastery and My Soil were the same company. We'll still definitely put both of them in the comparison, because if they're from the same company, they should be identical, right? So we'll ask that question and we'll go through that. And I got another third party soil test that we'll try that I found online. So we'll try that out. So good content to come, hopefully, as temperatures and the spring approaches here in North Carolina. But for now, that's all we got with the repair area. Wanted to show you that. Just wanted to show you Mr. Ferguson still gets upset when his grass gets messed up. But I know we're slacking a little bit on the content, guys. But those of you that are in the frigid blizzard up there in the north, hang on. Thank you guys for coming back to North Carolina here in my lawn. I appreciate it. It's looking great. We'll try to do a mow as soon as it looks like it's steadily growing and we got a warm day to mow it. We will do it. God bless you guys. Hope to see you on another video shortly. Check out the midweek quickie if you're interested. God bless. We'll see you next time.